Good morning. Are you Desarian Adams? And this is cause numbers 23, DCCR 0492 and 0493. Mr. Adams is on probation in each of those cases for the third-degree felony offense of deadly conduct discharging a firearm. Was placed on probation September 26th of 2023. Looks like the allegations in those motions are an alleged new offense of fleeing from a police officer in December of 2025.
All right, pause here, because this list is doing a lot of heavy lifting. This isn't just one slip-up. This is what judges call stacked violations, new alleged crimes, curfew issues, firearms, missed community service. When probation violations pile up like this, judges start thinking less about second chances and more about public safety. Question for you: if you were the judge, which of these would concern you the most?
Unlawful carrying a weapon, December of 2025. Failing to associate with disreputable persons or be present at a location where criminal act was committed. Failing to report the arrest. Failing to perform community service. Out past curfew. Possessing a firearm in violation of probation, behind in fees in both cases. Mr. Burbank has filed a motion asking that I set a bond in each of the cases. He's on deferred probation, and at this time there's no bond. Is that correct? Mr. Burbank, you may, Mr. Adams, best you can, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. Mr. Burbank, you may proceed.
Right, just for, if I may, just make a brief statement.
Sure.
These two new offenses are Mr.
I need everybody to hold it down. I need you to speak up a little, please. Thank you.
These two offenses are misdemeanors. I have talked numerous times to the district attorney. He has cooperated and as much as he can. We do not have the actual police reports except the PC. I don't know if you have a PC or not.
I don't, that's what I was
Judge, I was
looking
going to
for.
tender the copy of the probable cause affidavit to the court. You can tender it. I marked the states as Exhibit 1, Your Honor.
No, any objection to states one?
Thank you. One of the things that we are lacking is the video of the scene, because I read it as a defense attorney, and kind of have questions in reference to the charge itself. The firearms being in the back seat, there were other people in the car, and the firearms were next to them. No one claimed ownership, but basically.
This is a classic defense strategy right here. Distance your client from the weapons. Notice how the attorney emphasizes other people in the car, no ownership claims, and even throws in the designated driver angle legally, though hey race, the problem: probation doesn't care about technical ownership. If you're around guns, especially after a shooting case, that alone can sink you. Do you think this explanation helps or hurts?
Because he was the operator of the car, he was arrested. I will also submit to you that he was probably the only one that was not intoxicated at the time, and as such, it was not his car, and he had to get home, and so he was the designated driver at the time. And so with that, Judge, the other thing too I want to point out is I've asked Mr. Adams, I believe that he has no write-ups in the jail since he's been incarcerated in reference to any disciplinary actions. And I would like to call Mr. Adams.
Go ahead.
For the name, for the record, state your name. And what I have told the court in reference to your behavior in jail, have you been acting accordingly?
Yes, sir.
And you have not had any write-ups?
No, sir.
How long have you been incarcerated? How long have you been in jail?
18 days.
18 days? Yes. Now, you realize that one of the violations is you haven't been doing your community service fully, correct?
Yes, sir.
Have you addressed that problem since you've been incarcerated?
Yes, sir. I connected with my preacher.
Speak up.
I connected with my preacher. And he's one of them.
Who is your preacher?
Jeremy Williams.
Okay, and he has a church on Washington Boulevard?
Yes, sir.
And he has advised or has told you and your family that he would make sure that you got on the right track and did what you needed to do, correct?
Yes, sir.
In addition, your mom's back here, correct? You may not have known that, but she's here, right?
Yes, sir.
You realize that you shouldn't have been where you were, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you shouldn't have been in a car with firearms, correct?
Yes, sir.
Though we do have affidavits from the people there claiming ownership. We haven't gotten to that point yet, have we?
No, sir.
They were not your firearms.
No, sir.
Okay. If the court was to consider to post a bond, do you have any problem living with your mom
No, sir.
or having a monitor on?
No, sir.
Or any other type of monitor to whether drugs or alcohol or anything like that, correct?
No, sir.
And abide to try to get back on track again.
Yes, sir.
You do not have any assets in reference to bank accounts or anything like that, correct?
No, sir.
And though I am here, this money came from family members, correct?
Yes, sir.
You don't have anything to post, well, you would have enough to post a reasonable bond if one was set, correct?
Yes, sir.
I have nothing further, Judge, unless you may have some questions in reference.
Give me just a second. Thank you.
This is a critical emotional pivot. Jobs, education, family support. These are what defense attorneys highlight to show future stability. Judges hear this, as is this someone worth taking a risk on again? But hey, race the tension potential doesn't erase patterns. Drop a comment should progress in school outweigh repeated violations.
One last, do you have a job?
No, sir.
Can you get a job?
Yes, sir.
When was your last job?
Construction site in August.
In August? So what were you doing on the construction site?
Flagging.
Flagging?
Yes, sir.
You think you can get that job back?
I'm actually getting my CDL. Ms. Joseph hooked me up with the school that I've been getting to, and I'm on my last step of getting my CDL.
So you were enrolled in school at the time that this happened?
Yes, sir.
And you only have one more stage in order to get your CDL license?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Nichols?
Judge, my concern is this. He's on two probations for being involved in a shooting, 2 deadly conducts. It was a situation where shots were exchanged between 2 different groups of people, and he was on one side of that. And obviously, there wasn't much cooperation from either side, so he ended up with 2 deadly conduct probations. Here we have him in a car with 2 other guys, 3 people, 3 guns. And the reason, once the officer tries to pull them over, they slow roll for a few more blocks. That's why it's eluding and not, or fleeing a police officer and not evading in a motor vehicle. And of course, during that time, all 3 guns are hidden under a jacket in the back seat. I don't think that's a coincidence that we have a delayed pulling over, and then 3 guns are in the back seat. What I don't have is a full case report of all the details, but we can tell that from the probable cause affidavit. I believe the individual he was with is Xavier Kane. Now, if it's not in that probable cause affidavit, then I'm mistaken, because that's the only information I have. If it is Xavier Kane, he's also on felony probation. He shouldn't be hanging out with him. The information.
Who was in the car with you?
Lyndon LaSalle.
Who's also a felon.
Okay.
Not, this is son.
Lyndon LaSalle
Junior.
Jr.?
I looked this up for Mr. Burbank the other day. There is a Lyndon LaSalle Sr. who's a felon. Lyndon LaSalle Jr., I dismissed a unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon case several years ago. That's why I recall his name.
Okay.
He's certainly a person of ill repute.
So he's a prior felon?
He may not be. I think he had a felon. He had a felon, a prior felony.
Okay, but not on anything right
That's not the
now?
reason for that dismissal. Nothing current.
I don't believe he has a record, Judge.
Who was the other person that was in the car?
Jordan Collins.
Okay. It doesn't matter to me, honestly, at this point, doesn't matter. Okay. What else? Anything else?
Just if the court's going to set a bond, I ask it to be a high enough bond to protect the community. This is
This is the moment the courtroom temperature changes. The judge isn't just reviewing paperwork anymore, she's reminding him why he was on probation in the first place. 2 people were shot. This isn't theoretical danger. Judges take repeat firearm exposure personally because it signals the lesson didn't stick. From this point on, the odds of leniency drop fast.
Case involving firearms, Judge.
Yeah, so Mr. Adams, the deadly conducts aren't just, I mean, it was a shootout between, I mean, it's just more of the same.
It really was.
Hang on, right now is probably not a good time for you to say anything, like Mr. Burbank. So the first case, or the 2 cases that you're on probation for, 2 people actually got shot. So you and whoever are shooting at each other, you admitted to the police officers that day. So there's no, I didn't do it. You admitted to it, you pled guilty to it, and 2 people got shot, whether it was your bullets or whoever else was shooting. Y'all were all shooting at each other because your grandma's car got shot up. So obviously y'all were getting shot at, y'all were shooting at people, and people who had nothing to do with it ended up getting shot, and you got deferred probation. I sent you to ISF, right? So you've already been to ISF so that you could get right. Get the tools to make better decisions. And here you are out at 11:30 at night with 3 guns in the car, smelling like marijuana, cruising around doing what when you're supposed to be at home? With 3 guns in the car.
We actually was leaving the party. I never was in the car. I just
Should you have been at the party?
I stayed past my birthday.
Okay. So it's hard for me to believe when you're out at a party and you're on 2 felony probations for 2 people getting shot, that you just ended up in some car. Why didn't you pull over? I'm not asking you to answer right now, but you didn't pull over when they asked you to. When they got behind you, you kept going. So at this time, I'm going to find all right, I'll grant the motions, but I'm setting the bonds in each of the cases at $200,000. A condition of those bonds, if you make them, is that you will be required, and I thought at some point, I thought I put you on house arrest, but I guess you weren't on house arrest at the time of this, or were you supposed to be on house arrest?
No, I had paid everything off.
Okay, so you will be, if you make the bonds of $200,000 in each case, then conditions of those bonds are that you have to wear a GPS monitoring device and you will be on house arrest. You cannot leave your house except to come to court or visit with Mr. Burbank without my permission. Do you understand? All right, go back with the bailiff.
We can set this out next until I get the police reports.
We'll just do a normal reset and hopefully we'll get it by then.
By then, I'll find out if they are filed or have not been filed, whatnot.
Okay, thank you. All right, are you Aleem St. Clair?
Yeah, no.
And Mr. West, will your client waive the formal reading of the indictment in each case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. St. Clair, in cause number 23, DCCR 2044, you're charged with the first-degree felony offense of aggravated robbery, and that's from August 15th of 2023. And how do you plead to that charge? Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you pleading guilty because you actually did what they've charged you with? And then in cause number 23, DCCR 2117, you're also charged with the first-degree felony offense of aggravated robbery from August 15th of 2023. And how do you plead to that charge? Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily, and because you did what they charged you with? In both of those cases, I have here on the tablet some documents that have your signature on them that the state's marked as exhibit number 1. Before you signed these, did you go over them with Mr. West?
Oh, this one again?
The ones on the tablet?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
And did you, and do you understand what you signed, those documents?
When you told me, yes, ma'am.
Okay, and do you understand if I follow the agreement that you made with the district attorney, that you're waiving or giving up any right to appeal? So you can't change your mind if I follow these agreements later and say, I don't want to take these deals. Do you understand?
Appreciate it.
Hay race the headline, yes, bond was granted, but this is what we call a financial no, $200,000 per case GPS monitoring and house arrest for most defendants. That bond might as well be a locked door. This protects the community while technically preserving his rights. Final question for you, is this fair justice or just detention with extra steps?
You say you don't want to take the deal?
If I follow this agreement and I give you the 10-year deferred probations and all of that, you can't later say, I want to change my mind.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And it looks like the agreements that you've reached with the district attorney's office is a 10-year deferred probation in each of those cases. There would be a $1,000 fine in each case. There would be dismissals as part of this, and cause numbers 23 DCCR 1390 and 23 DCCR 2043. There would be no contact with the victim. Any additional conditions included after we get a pre-sentence report, which could definitely include some type of treatment, ISF or something like that. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand, if you're not a U.S. citizen, that a plea of guilty or no contest may result in your deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law?
Yes, ma'am.
State tenders number 1 in each case.
Objection?
It's admitted in each case. Is there any evidence that Mr. St. Clair is not competent?
No, Your Honor.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Sure.
If I may, just so Mr. St. Clair understands, typically we don't write that in a plea paper. What my intention was, and what Mr. West and I had discussed based on his very young age, was to be able to include everything that we could to help him at this stage of the game before he gets himself into courtroom. So that was our intention in including that. Those things are meant to help.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Malfino.
Thank you.
So states 1 is admitted in each case, and there's no evidence that he's not competent, correct? So, Mr. St. Clair, I'm going to find in each of your cases that you entered your pleas of guilty freely and voluntarily.
Yes, ma'am.
Find that you're mentally competent and you understand the nature and the consequences of your pleas.
Yes, ma'am.
Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty in each case, but I'm going to reset your cases for sentencing so that the probation department can do that pre-sentence report. That'll give me more information about you and your cases, and then we'll come back later for sentencing.
Can I get a PSI bond?
You cannot get a PSI bond. I have 34 pages now of jail incident reports. When you come back for sentencing, if I go along with this agreement, it will require, I'm telling everybody right now, you will go to ISF, okay? And that's meant to give you tools to be more successful. But I don't know, you've been in there long enough. I think you've probably seen 2 that were given ISF, and a condition of their bond, a condition of their probation was not to get any jail incident reports. And they never made it to ISF, and I revoked their probations. And I'm telling you now, I will do that.
Yes, ma'am.
If you continue to act like an absolute heathen at our jail and treat everybody, including the correctional officers, other inmates, like you have been, you're never going to see the light of day again for a long, long time. These are aggravated robberies. They're first-degree felonies. If you violate your probation, I can give you the rest of your life in prison. Minimum 5 years in prison, up to 99 years or the rest of your life. And I don't know if you can tell, but I hope you can, how serious I am, that this isn't going to be some little 5-year, oh, he was just acting up in the jail kind of thing and he's young. If you can't follow the rules, then you're not going to get these deals and you're going to end up in prison for a very, very long time. So it's time to straighten up. I don't care what everybody else is doing in the jail. You need to go in and say, I want this deal. I want to get out. I want a real life. I want a family. I want to work and just have a normal life. I'm going to sit in my bunk when I'm supposed to. I'm going to dress like I'm supposed to. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to when I'm supposed to. You don't get to make the rules when you're there. You get out, you're on probation, you have some freedom, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You don't have that freedom in there. Prove to me between now and sentencing that you can do it. Okay, go back with the bailiff.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, sir, thank you.